very interesting community event. It's a community fishing event called Kerebete. Kere means a lake and Bete is hunting. It's a communal hunting. Basically, it's fishing technically.
Fish hunting.
So it's a community fishing. So people from a panchayat, a single panchayat, let's say 4-5 villages, they gather around on a particular day and they go fishing. So one interesting thing we saw in Soraba was after the event, there was this rule passed among the villages that they will not do any more fishing in that particular pond until the rains come, which was 2 more months, because they had to leave that water for the cattle to drink. So they had to preserve that water. So fishing was banned after the Kerebete event. So nobody would go into the water to fish anymore. But during the event, you can fish as much as you want, It's just that luck should favor you and you should be able to get your share of the fish.
Hours.
And it's a fixed time. So morning by 9:30. Of course, this is also done commercially in certain places. But where we saw it was it was a community level activity. It was not commercial. And it was done to kind of get that their share of fish and leave the water alone for the next 2 months until monsoons appear. So it was a very interesting event where, we could see men, women, children, everybody there. Kids had actually bunked school to take part in the event. They had their own set of ballet. All the nets were there. There were, Kuni, Idi Kuni, and Jaradi ballet, Mankri. So different equipment, fishing equipment. And women actually had, cloth tied around their waist. And, the sari folded around their waist, and whatever fish, they were after small fish. So they had this particular device and they would scoop out and get a bunch of this fish and, put it in their, tied to their waist. So their waists were like loaded with tiny fish. It was very cute to see. And they would just, pour it back into their baskets. Very interesting experience that way. There were a lot of people who didn't end up getting any fish. That was okay too. They were like, it's a fun event, and they went off. And it should be seen with that lens of preservation. That's how I like to look at it, because the kuni itself it has very sharp ends, and it goes about the way they actually dig into the earth, into the lake bed. It aerates that lake bed, and it kind of prepares the lake for the next spell of rains. That was a very nice thing. And the fact that they wouldn't fish anymore and let the cattle actually use that water, preserve it for the cattle during the summer months, that was something very interesting.
It's a true community spirit. It talks about sustainability, a very, very mindful way of consuming what I want, what I need. If I want to have some fun, okay, we'll do this with the community, but then we stop. It's not endless. So the children are also learning this, right? So that's a very, very beautiful custom. Approach rather. Beautiful approach.
So we were there at one of the events, and it was like something that I will never forget in my lifetime. So we were there.
Men, women, and the children.
They're all there waiting at the edge of that huge lake. We did this in Soraba. So there was this huge lake, and along the edge there were some 5 villages that had gathered, and they were just waiting for that call. And I was there, near the water, and it was very slippery. They all had these fishing tools, different. I mean, I think every fish has a different, different net or a different,
the fishing baskets.
Baskets.
It's so intricately done, and there are varieties of baskets to catch those fish.
So Kerebete was a very unique and interesting experience, something that I've never seen. And I was there waiting. A lot of people thought I was somebody from a news channel. Then they were asking me for pictures. So they were all...
We got this a lot.
Yeah. And I didn't have enough help, so I asked one of the young boys to come and hold my second camera. And this child was like, he was like itching to just leave and go. He initially was very interested to hold the camera and all that, but later he saw the excitement of fishing was much more. So that one, and he said, he handed me back the camera and he ran away. So this, where you stand, there's this huge crowd waiting, and the moment they announced that you can go, everybody rushes in towards that water, and
very disciplined way. It's not just, they just...
And they go about, trying to catch the fish that are left over. The same day they actually catch these fish, go cook and eat, and you will see the entire life cycle, and the Meenu becomes a beautiful motif in Chittara, the border.
Yes. The way a border has been done here, they also do a fish border. So it's called the Meenu border, and along with that, there are so many other borders that we have documented.
Yes.
It's really fascinating.
I think 50 plus borders, unique borders we've documented.
Yes.
Maybe how many, I don't know, I've lost track of the number of motifs that are there. Easily some 70 motifs.
70 to 80 motifs.
80 motifs we would have documented. All these are part of their life, even a particular plant, appears as a motif.
Kaulimatti.
Kaulimatti, yeah. Again, it's related to, it's added in fish curry. It's a sour thing. It's a thorny plant, and the thorns appear as beautiful chittara. It's a chittara in itself. It's a Kaulimatti chittara. It shows how the women, because see, as a folk art, it's been passed down the generations through the women, and the women have observed all this. The fact that the plant, actually when you look at the plant, you can relate it to the chittara, because the plant, all the thorns appear like this, and the chittara also has that same motif. So I was amazed at how they could, it's not just seeing and adapting, but adapting it so beautiful, so interestingly, in a way that it appears as art.
Exactly.
That is, it's very, very striking.
To add to the Kaulimatti scenario, what was fascinating to me, we were looking for this Kaulimatti plant, okay, and we couldn't find it anywhere. I think our cab driver, Gauri, is extremely observant person. He had found the plant somewhere. So we were driving, he stops the car suddenly. He said, "Yenaitu, Kaulimatte idರಲ್ಲಿ, go and feed." So we saw it, and the plant has a thorn, like Smita said. But the part that they use, other than berries, those berries are used in the
fish curry.
Mean curry, right? So,
and it enhances the
what
taste.
is used. The women have used the thorns of the plant in the chittara, not the berries. I found that very fascinating, right? So, because visually, the berries don't stick out, the mullu sticks out. So you put that into the chittara, and it's so beautiful.